real bright sounding, just kind of dull.
Hello people, thank you for tuning into my channel. On the bench today is a 1968 Gibson B-25 made in Kalamazoo, Michigan. The B-25 is a student-sized guitar with a small body and a very narrow nut width. The bridge has an adjustable Brazilian rosewood saddle. I've found that the brass threaded inserts and machine screws that they used at the factory caused a lot of sustain and volume loss, as well as warping the spruce top and the soundboard. We've decided the best course of action is to remove and replace the bridge with a custom-made Madagascar rosewood bridge and drop in a bone saddle. The tuners are real stiff and the back of the neck is pitted and sticky. The previous repairs to the soundboard has left some unsightly scars. The tools and techniques used in this restoration are going to be some 320 grit free cut sandpaper. I've equipped my CO2 tank with a regulator and a quick disconnect for the air line so I can hook up my airbrush, because there's probably only going to be about a tablespoon or a teaspoon of color used. I'll use the color tone liquid stained Kalamazoo mahogany for the brown color, and then mix all pigments for the darkening of the tobacco brown. I'll use black, and then I'll use just a little touch of red. On the back of the neck I'm going to use that black brown color, and then for the soundboard I'll use vintage amber, which is a translucent color tone stain. The flash coat that I use is mostly lacquer retarder and lacquer thinner with a little bit of lacquer. I'll spray that through a Prevail sprayer, and you could call that a wash coat or a flash coat. And then I'll spray the clear satin lacquer from a spray can. That's also a color tone product. I always spray in a well-ventilated garage with a respirator and the humidity below 65%. Just to make 10. These guitars have bolts on either side of the bridge pins, which I'll have to dig those the pearl out to get to the screw heads. It also has a transducer pickup, one on the bass and one on the treble. I measured this nut at 1.59 inches, which is somewhere between inch and a half and inch and 5/8. It's something like inch and 9/16. Working on these here, a couple of them are loose, and one of them was missing. Turns out that low E that was so hard to turn was the one that was missing the bushing. And that bushing should help make it function better. So I'm going to replace the one that was missing. Stuart McDonald calls these the vintage Grommet tuner bushings. They're about 0.291. The original ones are 0.284. So that means I'm going to have to do a little reaming. Not much though. This wood is real soft. It's old mahogany. That was one of the old ones. Okay, here's the new one. Just a few more turns of the reamer and I'll have it. See that little ring around the hole? That's not good. It's little teeny stuff like that that stops the truss rod from working the way it should. Any kind of deformation of the acorn nut or the half moon washer and you're in for some trouble. So this was a good little fix. Stuart McDonald sells these. You have to buy 6 of them at a time, I believe, and these you can buy single, but they're only a couple bucks. Got a couple dings here. He asked me to clean the neck, although after cleaning it I realized that it has a lot of dings in it. So I got the brown and amber colored lacquer. I don't know exactly how much brown and how much amber I mixed. It was just from a different job. It was it's about that dark. I don't know what it is. So it's very nice though. It's very nice indeed. I'm quite impressed with this match. This is a very nice match. Oh, I'm just smitten with it. So I started drop filling the areas on the back of the neck, and while it's drying I decided to flip it over and try to get these out. I took a guess at 1/2 inch, and I guessed right. Put the first one on there and unscrewed it right quick, and here goes the second one. Just a 1/2 inch socket. Only took 1 or 2 turns, and here comes the nut. There's also a star washer. There it goes. A nut and a star washer. And there was 2 of them. One on this side, one on that side. So after the airbrushing, I did 3 coats of Stumac or color tone clear satin lacquer because this neck felt just horrible. It was real sticky. The lacquer had all those crazy swirl marks and stuff, and it just didn't feel good. Felt like just awfully sticky and dirty, and you couldn't rub your hand up and down. This is the same day that I sprayed that satin. Really nice and smooth, fast feel to it. It's gonna be great. I sprayed body also. Had it all masked off and stuff. There's a lot of overspray up here on this part, which I can get off with. I'm not going to do that today, though. I'll do that in a few days. You can see that overspray lacquer. It's not quite as gritty sounding right here where I really sprayed it, but up here where's the overspray, like the dust gets up here. So I'll take guitar polish and 5,000 grit sandpaper. I won't do it today. I'll do it in a few days, and I'll sand that dust off. That's an automotive trick. It's real heavy right here. This is where I sprayed mostly. When I get into this area, you can hear the overspray. Just going to ream these holes out a little bit to accept my 3/8 birch plugs. There she is, all cleaned up and looking good. Ready for a little glue up. All glued up. We can look down into the sound hole here and see the clamps. All cleaned up. I'm gonna shut her down and let her rest for the night. Right now I'm getting ready to cut the saddle slot, and I wanted to show you how easy it is to use the Stumac Saddle-matic, it's called. What you do is you rest this up against the nut, and you place this right over the 12th fret. It moves because there's different scale lengths. And it sits right on the center of the fret. Then you flip it around, place it right on the center of the fret again. And these 2 pins show you the front edge of your saddle slot. There may have been a little glare on that last shot. I took a straight edge down the sides of the fingerboard, and it turns out that my little eyeballing it at 3/16 was dead on the money. So it's not shifted to the treble or the bass side, it's right on center. Also looks like my holes line up really nice. There's about an 1/8 inch on either side for the hole. I put 1 coat of Danish oil on her, and I sprayed right here, this little spot. I kind of, when I was sanding, I kind of screwed it up, but oversprayed just a quick little shot of clear satin. And I'm going to just take the excess off, the Danish oil off of the top of the bridge, and we'll be able to go. If I can find the saddle.